Okay, so here I am, womankind, we've got men in the background building stuff, right? Plumbing, power, toilets, hard infrastructure. That's the domain of men, that's men's business. Why is that men's business? Because men are masters of the physical realm, that is our domain. Men are masters of the physical realm. We hold the physical power, the physical force. That's why when it's abused, when it's taken out of control, we see war, we see violence, we see domestic violence. That's the dark side of man, masculine. It's a very real thing. But really, that was, in terms of paradigms, that was the solar plexus paradigm. That was the modern paradigm, and that culminated and peaked and descended into chaos with World War I and World War II. It's still slowly descending into chaos, but what came up was the green heart space, its collective identity, its feminine consciousness, its group, its care. That sprung up in the 60s and 70s, identified the weakness and the threat of the previous chaos, but we're seeing that descend into chaos, right? The space, the dark side of the feminine. What is it? Feminine, if men are masters of the physical realm, women are masters of the invisible realm, the realm of feeling, the realm of emotion, right? This is the balance of power between men and women. And what's really hard for a lot of people to see is that the cultural crisis that we're facing is the dark side of the feminine. It is this emotional manipulation. It is woke, gone mad. That's what's going on. Dark side of the feminine, identifying it, shining light on it, loving it. Dark side of the masculine, same thing. We're just coming together as a whole being consciousness. Right? And so this is why it's so hard, if you're in the green heart space, to see that we're in this tipping point. Because the green heart space is collective, feminine consciousness. We're going into the dark side of that. And this election in America is a tipping point. It's a tipping point out of the dark side of green consciousness. Look, think about it. Kamala Harris, representing that. She's a woman of color. It's like all of those perceived green heart-based values. And then from that space, it may seem that there's a regression, with Trump coming through. Literally, the orange man from the solar plexus. Business, go get him. But I can assure you, this is the tipping point into integral consciousness, because we've just gone through this green heart space stuff. The counterbalance to that is throat. It's back to individual identity. It's back to masculine consciousness. And the crazy thing is, that's why we've got Trump, Musk, RFK, leading the charge here. They're all men. They're all very accomplished in the business, but someone like RFK, someone like Elon Musk, they've done that green heart space work. They've dedicated a lot of their time and efforts to those causes. Electric cars, RFK with vaccines and health and all the environmental stuff as well. Now you think about it. Every single one of these dudes had to go through the initiation into the throat, integrated consciousness. They're putting their name on the line. They've been rejected by the group identity. And literally, in the case of Trump, he's put his life on the line. Now, you can say there's a possibility, it's all a big, psyops, whatever, to win the election. Maybe that's a possibility. But the point is, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, it's all men, it's all masculine consciousness, it's all individual identity, and it's all about speaking your truth no matter the consequences. Even, if the whole group is on some tangent and you don't agree, you don't think it's right, you have to speak up. You could get cancelled. You could get attacked. They'll come after you in so many different ways. But it's what has to be done for the evolution of consciousness. So Trump's building this alliance, and we're moving up into this individual, integrated masculine consciousness. Not just men, right? Tulsi Gabbard's on the team as well, but she's military, right? She's straight down the center, integrated masculine consciousness, whether we're men or women. That's the new paradigm. That's the tipping point we've just hit. Just like we hit a tipping point in the 60s and 70s and came up into the heart space consciousness that we've all grown up in, right? So it's hard to see that this new tipping point is happening. But the crazy thing is, right, solar plexus, business, go get 'em, individual masculine consciousness, that was a paradigm of a few hundred years. That's the time scale. Green heart-based consciousness, the time scale is decades, right? Logarithmically less. This one is going to be single years. So we're going to see this flourish into the tipping point. All sorts of awesome stuff's going to happen. But there's going to be the dark side of the throat integrated consciousness as well. And that's the space of grifterism and the snake oil merchants. Trump putting out his own cryptocurrency, Musk with his Dogecoin, and now the Department of Government Efficiency. there's going to be a whole bunch of fuckery going on over through the throat in the next few years. So we've got to stay vigilant. We've got to stay discerning about what's actually going on in terms of the bigger picture, in terms of the evolution of consciousness. Anyway, I hope you get some value out of this video. That's me for now. Peace.